Now let's turn back to the Republican National Convention, which is set to start Monday. All week long, we've been talking to Republican strategist Marie Byron, who has all the details about this important event.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi there, Marie. Now, all of Tampa Bay is gearing up for the convention, but I understand no one's more excited than the area's gay prostitutes who are expecting record numbers of clients.
That's right, Andrea. This convention means increased sales for hotels, restaurants, and, of course, the men who provide anonymous gay sex.
All right, now, how much money will all those closeted Republican convention goers bring into the city, Marie?
A lot. The average Tampa area prostitute normally makes around $200 to $300 a week jerking off truck drivers behind the bus station.
I see.
Next week, they are expecting to make about 30 times that amount sucking off secretly gay Republicans.
Wow. So the convention goers will be slipping out of prayer breakfast and Mike Huckabee speeches all week long to go trawl Tampa side
Right,
streets.
and all those tricks add up.
They sure do.
Then you figure the fact that these delegates are so repressed and filled with self-hatred,
yes,
they tend to like the filthiest, kinkiest sex acts imaginable.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Tends to cost more.
Right. On this chart, I see fecal play, choking.
We also have... You know, the average well-adjusted gay man has no desire to smear fecal matter all over his partner's face or be beat up by him. But you know, that is exactly the sort of thing that these repressed conservatives are willing to pay top dollar for.
Okay, as well as the services of transsexuals, I understand. Yes. The she-male prostitutes in Tampa, well, they've already begun to wear Republican T-shirts and pins to signal they're ready to cater to the GOP.
Well, no one loves a hooker with a dick under her dress more than a closeted Republican. No one.
Well, let's talk about South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. We obtained a copy of his schedule here, Marie, and you can see...
Right, you can see he has left 2-hour blocks of time, which we assume is for getting his balls drained by a tranny named Chandrell Mercedes.
Yes, well, we spoke to Tampa gay prostitutes earlier today. Let's take a look.
Please.
I'm gonna fuck all these old fatty boys. I'm gonna go get some Tina. I'll party.
I was hoping to make some money and maybe buy a plane ticket to see my aunt down in Houston. Go Mitt Romney.
It sounds like they're really looking forward to it.
Yes, but it will also be exhausting. A lot of the Republicans repeatedly call the prostitutes crying after they've had sex with them.
I suppose the prostitutes are shoring up on their politics so they can talk to the Republicans.
Ha ha, Andrea, what do you think this is, Pretty Woman? They're just there to get fucked.
Right. Thank you, Marie Byron.
Oh, RNC's always a good time.
Good to see you as always. Moving on, Ron Paul received an important endorsement just in time for the RNC from Big Sandy, the horse who can do math.
You know, unfortunately, that endorsement from Big Sandy wasn't enough to get Ron Paul across the finish line. Sorry, Ron. Sorry, not sorry. I was one of those Ron Paul idiots way back in the day. Way back in the day.
Work out, I'm doing cushions, Bobby Benders in the building, pop that pussy, throw one foot up in the air. One time for a nigga like me, yes, I like this.
Welcome to the motherfucking News Underground. I am Abandoned Nihilism. We're going to be covering Ukraine. Things are happening, as Zio Duke likes to say. You know, we're cursed to live in interesting times, and you know, you either look, man. I'm so sick and tired of the motherfuckers that want to just sit around and whine about, oh, wouldn't it be great if things were different? Yeah, it would be great. But that's not what we're dealing with. Right? When can we have a return? We're done with irony by now, right? Can we have a return to sincerity and actually talk about real shit? Right? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these motherfuckers out here. Welcome to the show, folks. We're just going to dive right into it. This is a news flash. I got just a couple hours before I got to get back to it. Back to work, back to family life. Real life shit has really been hitting me hard. Real life shit has really been hitting me hard lately. And I've had a, you know, very scary thing the last couple days. And I'll let you know more once I know more. But, you know, I'm trying to do the everyday stream. I'm trying to do the everyday a couple hours, right? But this week I got hit pretty hard by the IRL mallet. So sorry about that. But let's jump into it. Big props to Shinzo X, AK Hazard, 1997 full mixtape. Absolutely wonderful mixtape. I mean, makes you want to motherfucking slap yo mama.
Whatever you have here
like and subscribe.
must be destroyed.
Like and subscribe on that shit. Absolutely amazing. absolutely amazing. Look, if you're not down with this underground sound, then I recommend you get with this shit. It's some of the most dynamic and interesting music I've ever heard in my life. And ironically, a lot of it is reusing samples over and over and over again. But it's interesting how it restricts itself, and that there's a lot of creativity in that. You know, like they're still using the cowbells, they're still using the samples. What else could we possibly do with these things? And they continue to innovate, and I love it so much. So check out that underground scene, folks. I love The Onion. I hope you enjoyed that little sketch from The Onion there. Tampa Bay gay prostitutes gearing up for a flood of closeted Republicans. If you're not savvy to that shit, you should know that this is barely a joke. This is barely a joke. There's absolutely, when Republican conventions happen in these big towns, there's a big increase in prostitution overall, but of course gay prostitution as well. I wonder why. No reason. No reason. They're just family men. They're just family men. All right, so let's get into it here. Canada sees this Russian cargo plane, plans to give it to Ukraine, and Putin or Russia, or someone, a representative of Russia, they're like, oh man, we're gonna sever that relationship with you. You better watch out. We're gonna sever our relationship with Canada. And apparently there's a couple things Canada depends on Russia for that would drive the prices up, but it's not like a Germany situation, right? Where Germany was like, oh man, this is like seriously going to affect Germans' day-to-day lives. In Canada, it would just make the prices of certain things go up. And by now, we're fucking used to that shit. I don't know, just rake us over the coals, laws, motherfucking, Save On Foods. Howdy, Shavers. Hey, howdy, Shavers. I'm the fat asshole from Save On Foods, and I'd like to just reach into your wallet, just take another bill. Thank you so much, Savers. Hope you enjoyed the food. Sorry there isn't none left because I fucking ate it all. Enjoy your fucking savings, Savers. I'll just take that wallet. Thank you so much. Look up the commercials. You know what I'm talking about. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Canada seizes cargo plane, plans to give it to Ukraine. Let's dig into it. I hate the Save On Foods guy.
It's been sitting here more than 15 months, the Russian-owned Antonov AN-124. The cargo plane came to Canada to deliver a shipment of COVID-19 rapid antigen tests. But the plane's been unable to fly in Canadian airspace since Russia invaded Ukraine. Now the Canadian government says it's seizing the plane and giving it to Ukraine.
This is a big first step to seize their assets.
The aircraft was manufactured in Ukraine.
We're hoping that Ukraine will be able to use it to transport aid that's being donated from around the world.
Aviation lawyer Bill Clark.
It'll go back, it'll be given to the Ukrainian government, who would then delegate it to the Antonov Design Bureau, who built the plane.
The federal government announced plans over the weekend to seize the plane when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a surprise trip to Kyiv.
We are one of the first countries to bring in specific legislation that allows us not just to ground this plane, but to actually seize it.
Trudeau says the Ukrainian government's happy with the move.
Sounds good to me.
As soon as possible.
Legalities aside, the plane is in no condition to go anywhere without maintenance.
Every aircraft has what we call a maintenance control manual that specifies what has to be done in layups. None of that's been done.
And Ukrainian Canadians are wondering what's next when it comes to seizing Russian assets.
It's just been sitting there.
There absolutely needs to be more done to investigate and freeze assets, and then eventually, as you see with this plane, to seize it.
Getting the legal work done, step one. Getting the plane airworthy again, step two. As for the $1,000 a day Pearson parking bill, well, the federal government will likely waive that for the new owners. Sean O'Shea, Global News, Toronto.
They give it to Ukraine along with a bill for the fucking parking. That would be great. Oh man, cops are great, aren't they? Don't you love it when you get your shit, impounded, towed, right? You miss the meter or something, you miss the timing, you get back, your shit's towed. You got to pay the fee to get it out of there. You're getting charged every hour, usually $100 every hour. And they put a fucking ticket on top of it. And they put this is a nice little cherry on top of your shit Sunday. Don't you love it? Anyway, we do got news about NATO, Russia-Ukraine war, NATO to train Ukrainian pilots to F-16 fighter jets. I got one thing to say. What the fuck took you so long? Oh, we roasting them up, man. I'm frying them up, dude. Fuck tossing that shit, boy. Tossing it? What is he talking about? Tossing what? What are you tossing, boy? Fucking... Zoomer's going to call me sus. What are you tossing, man? No, I'm frying him up, dude. What the fuck took you so long, NATO? What the fuck you talking about? You just started doing this shit? What the fuck took you so long? That's my question. And yeah, Aaron Monte and the rest of the goddamn, Russian weirdos. I still haven't found a good word for it. Like Vantik, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Propagandist, I don't know. They're above propaganda almost. Like the gaslighting that they do is so advanced. Right? It's so convoluted and it's so hard to tell their motivations. They do such a good job of weaving the truth into their narratives and so confusing. I don't know. Confusion wizards? That's what I'm going to... Okay, confusion wizards. Like Aaron Monte and the other confusion wizards over here with fucking Russia, right? All right, let's get into it.
Got the commitment of our partners that training courses will start. And we will build up together construction of this consortium of fighter jets. It will start with the F-16, with the Netherlands.
I mean, this really does make me feel like this is kind of a long-term thing, guys. Like, this is kind of a 5 to 10 year kind of thing, isn't it? I mean, I don't think Russia has it in them though. But if they've been doing a good job of pretending like they do, I gotta say.
And Denmark as the leaders, and other countries will join. And also we heard good news from our Sweden partners also that we will have the options to testing, just testing their capabilities also.
We had a session today with a variety of countries. We're early in the planning process. I think there's an intent by several countries that have stepped up to take the lead, Netherlands and Denmark in terms of the planning. So there's a lot of work left to be done. I think it would be premature to give a specific date on any time that F-16s or any other type of advanced aircraft will be employed in combat.
Yeah, this shit's going to take months, man.
You have to do language training, you have to do pilot training, you've got to get all the systems.
It'll be like 6 months before we see
those wheels are in motion,
pilots from this program in the air.
Completion of that project. We have and we will continue to offer wide-ranging support, from providing sophisticated combined arms capabilities to intelligence to training of Ukrainian forces to be more effective on the battlefield.
Okay.
Through a global effort, more than 6,000 Ukrainians are being trained right now at 40 different locations, training locations, in 65 courses in 33 nations on 3 continents. That is all happening right now, today.
I love how sanitized all this is, right? I mean, look what he, does this guy look like he's, puppeteering the world's largest military, right? Like, cause when you picture that in your head, you think of some like Dr. Strangelove shit, but and Putin's doing the same thing. So we got these two like kind of almost corporate style guys doing these boring speeches and, when they're basically talking about the fate of, thousands of men, and it's just so sanitized, so cold, so, up on a podium, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, like you think it's like Patton, right? The opening of Patton, right? Some grandiose speech, on, the dynamic camera angle. And no, it's this shit, right? It's this shit. It's your grandpa making an announcement, right? So here we go. Here's some meat and potatoes for you boys and girls. If anyone's watching, I don't know if anyone's watching, but this is, just some amazing footage. And, it's really, we're going to get, once the silence shit is over with and these guys are allowed to start releasing footage like on the regular, like they were, it's going to get very exciting, but some of the stuff is still leaking out, very carefully. And yeah, I mean, Ukraine, it's exactly what I was expecting, which is careful but consistent pressure, right? We got and they waited until everything was equipped properly, right? So you're not sending men half-assed. If you're taking a trench, it's got armor support, right? It's got artillery support, softening up these positions. We don't engage until we got those things in place. Time is on our side. What's the hurry? Uncle Sam's got our back, and so does the rest of the West. And Russia, it's not like Russia's playing ball here, right? They're shit in the bed. Putin over here shit in the bed. Literally, I mean, we saw Putin recently, right? I didn't have time to stream about it. But we saw Putin over here literally saying, why would Russia attack a civilian target? It's completely unfounded, completely useless. Basically, I mean, like in one of the worst and laziest attempts to gaslight the fucking world, he basically is repeating the narrative about, you know, well, why is Putin targeting civilian targets, and, you know, why aren't you targeting? He just repeated it. He just, you know, tried to flip it, and it was kind of a lazy attempt, but. Man, I mean, it's interesting. I wonder if the rumors about Putin being insulated from the realities, from the battle realities, I wonder if that is true. If that really is true, we might be dealing with a more dangerous person than I first assessed. But let's dig into it. Some meat and potatoes. Where are the Spartans? The Spartans are out there, man. I mean, the Ukrainian military right now is probably the sharpest, battle-hardened military in the world right now. You know, and you know, of course, the United States, has them over a barrel on everything else. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't think there's a more Spartan-esque military right now, you know, out there than the Ukrainian military. These guys are brass balls. The footage I've seen, shocking. These boys are jumping into trenches and fucking blasting around corners like it's fucking, you know, it's COD, dude. What? Zeoduke, I will ban you for life if you ever criticize Lenny and his amazing content ever again. Lenny's YouTube channel is filling a gap that, let me tell you, not a single other person is doing, okay? That's real original content, and I demand your apology. For Lenny, the #1 financial contributor to the stream, make sure you check out the YouTube channel Accidents Waiting to Happen. One of the best YouTube channels in the YouTube sphere. Let's get to it. Oh! Goddamn! Turn this down a bit, sorry. So I don't understand. Can someone explain the coffee cup thing to me? Is this like a coffee cup he got from Russia and it says like kill Ukrainians or something? Like, I don't understand what's going on with the coffee cup thing. Hey, I watched their things. Why? Is he a they, them? Why? Are you high? What are you on, ketamine? What's wrong with you, dude?
Ukraine appears to be taking Russian prisoners at a faster pace than at any time in the war so far.
Yeah.
And this is a sign of the Russian army is cracking.
Yeah. Good. Okay, it's a coffee
Ukraine's
cup. I don't know.
47th Brigade, which famously lost a small number of Bradleys and Leopards while advancing near Orikhiv last week, suffered few casualties in that action, thanks to the Western armor, remains fully combat capable, went on to liberate 2 villages, and appears to have recovered at least some of the damaged armor, Ukrainian sources says. They also comments on Putin's admission Tuesday that Russia lost 54 tanks in the previous week. If he's admitting 50,
I mean, I'm not really inclined to listen to any fucking numbers, right? I'm more inclined to trust the Ukrainian ones a little bit, but you know, I'm sure they fudge it. Everyone's fudging it. But some of the numbers that we're supposed to think are true that are coming out of Russia are ludicrous. are fucking ludicrous, dude.
4, then what's the real number his underlings didn't tell him? If his subordinates are giving the lost numbers even a 50% haircut, and say the real number for the week was 100 tanks, then we are left with, for Russia,
damn it. I felt that one in the back of my goddamn molars. Holy nuts. Ka-chow! Did you look at the fucking blast wave, dude? Oh, oh, oh.
Russian tanks a day. And the thing about that is, that estimate is almost exactly the same as the Ukrainian Armed Forces official estimates for the same.
That's pieces of the tank, dude. That's pieces of the tank exploding off it. That's like metal chunks
Coordinates
coming
are giving
off
the
the
lost
tank,
numbers
dude.
even a 50% haircut and say the real number for the week was 100.
You're talking about these right here, right? Yeah, that's pieces of the tank. It happened in a split second, man. It like,
Coordinates are giving the lost numbers even a 50% haircut and say the real number for the week was 100 tanks. Then we are left with, for Russia, the disconcerting sum.
I think up in the top left as
for
well.
the week was 100 tanks. Then we are.
I think up in the top left as well. Just chunks of metal flying in all directions. Don't they fall later? Not with the shockwave? I don't know. This footage is bananas, dude. You know, there's no way anyone in that tank survived. There's no fucking way. I don't think was that a mine. Is that
with
you know? Is that a mine triggering the ammo in the vehicle? I don't. Maybe. I don't think so though. I don't see anything drop from above, but it could be fast enough where the camera doesn't pick it up. Maybe it is a mine. Nasty, dude. Absolutely nasty. I mean, that shit, you know what I mean? You'd feel all stoked. Oh, I get to, you know, be a tank commander. You know, I get to kick some ass. You know, I get to, you know, shoot around, drive a tank. You ever gotten in a tank in Battlefield? You last like 5 milliseconds. You get shot at by everyone, and you're fucked within seconds. And it's like, Battlefield isn't that far off from real life over here. I would want to, if I was on one of these vehicles, I'd be wanting to get away from these vehicles as soon as possible. It seems to me like the safest place you could be on the front line is in a trench with, you know, that has like, you know, a little dugout for you to dive into with like a nice dirt roof. That's probably the safest place you could be. Of course, until a tank is rolling over your ass because your military didn't give you enough supplies to defend against the tank rolling up on you. Anyway, I digress.
On each. In the Bakhmut direction, offensive actions
Poor
continue
sons
in the
of bitches
directions
getting
of
buried
Rozdolivka,
alive out there.
Krasnopolivka and Brekivka.
Send them
Yagidne.
home, Putin.
There is success. Offensive actions continue in the Berdyansk and Mariupol directions.
Hey, how's this
And
for
let's see some
equality,
action.
huh?
Ukrainian soldiers assaulting a house occupied by Russians.
Ooh, these are so fucking sweet. Oh. I'd love to shoot one of these. Ooh, god damn it. And like everything in that room, right? Everything in that room is fucking, you're right, just like a, you know, a blast of what, steel balls probably? And the explosion, just the explosion alone is, oh, did you get that? Boom. Holy shit, dude. What was he doing? Why was he doing that?
What
Man,
is
he
the
was
defense
running up, but then
minister's
he
daughter
retreated.
doing these days? Prigozhin is.
Maybe he threw a grenade. So, can someone tell me, is this guy Putin's buddy or not? Is Putin, like, I still don't know. I still don't know. Davey made a great point earlier last stream, right, about how, well, you know, this guy's kidnapping Russian soldiers and we have no comment from Putin or the military, right? But then he's making comments that would, like, literally anyone else making these comments would be slipping on banana peels off the top of the fucking Kremlin roof, right? So what the fuck, man? Is it? I just don't know, man. What a weird situation over there in Russia. Russia is so, like, the Russian government, how they operate, the schoolyard antics that, you know, lead to someone getting their ass fucking, you know, thrown off a balcony are just super bizarre, you know, and it makes those movies, you know, that show the inside of how these operations operate just like more fascinating, you know, than any. I mean, just the politics of Russia is just, it's utterly fascinating. Every era is like this.
Picking on Shoigu again. The split in Russian
Just a hot
elites
mess.
continues to deepen.
Когда в 12-14 шла Первая мировая война, а это, собственно говоря, такой похожая история с тем, что сегодня мы имеем.
See what I mean?
То
What the hell? What are you talking
дети
about?
царя в
I
то
don't
время.
like. Okay, all right. This is going to be quick. I am really tired of, you know, these videos. You know, 6-minute long Prigozhin quotes. Man, fucking cut it up, man. I don't want to hear what this idiot has to say. You know, the reason why we're hearing a lot from him is because he's basically saying, you know, yeah, the Ukrainian military is kicking a lot of ass right now, all right? So it's this weird contradiction that we have, because they're like, yeah, the only way I defeated them was by admitting that they're superior in X amount of ways, and you know, and which is, he's, I don't know, is he trying to replace Putin? Is that what's going on?
Они работали сестрами милосердия, дочки. Они, может быть, не сильно работали много, но они хоть что-то делали. Сегодня у нас чем занимается дочка министра обороны? Она ходит, крутит попой, машет губы и делает пресс-завтраки.
Could you imagine the commander of Z, or whatever the hell, you know, the Blackwater is calling itself now, gets, you know, on, you know, just getting back from the front lines from some fucking, you know, conflict that was, you know, the United States hired, and he's all like, oh yeah, look at Joe Biden's daughter, you shaking her ass on social media. Yeah, look at Hunter Biden. What a prick. What an asshole. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, these are supposed to be guys that are commanding men to die, right? To die for, you know, for country and for glory, and you know, and you put a camera in front of him, and he starts talking about daughters on social media and how shameful it is. Like, I get it's effective to the Russian audience. It's not meant for me, right? So that's why he's going down this, but it really is just embarrassing. It's embarrassing, right? I mean, is this seriously the, you know, the deepest cut you got, man?
Этого у нас идет разгильдяйство.
Video
She
from
wears
Ukraine's
lipstick.
Special Operation Forces showing HIMARS strikes on a 1L-219
Didn't you get like
Zoopark 1 power
10,000
battery
people
radar
killed in Bakhmut?
and an electronic warfare system in the Bakhmut area.
Oh shit!
They says it's a Borisovgebsk 2, but it looks like a Zetel.
Gotta go right now. I don't have eardrums. Oh my god, do I have to censor this one? Hold on, let me just hold on. Let me see here. Okay, no, I don't see anyone on there. Oh, no, I can show that. This is after they've left. Maybe they're abandoning after like the drone dropped one grenade. I've seen them do that. You know, they'll hit the engine. They've been aiming for the engines. A lot of those initial strikes will they'll get right behind them. It's cool. You'll see the drone, like it's coming, you know, it's coming, the vehicle is coming to the drone's front. Then the drone kind of stops and then kind of does like a, you know, like a hover around, gets right behind and hits them right in the back where the engine and exhaust is. So that maybe that's what's happening, and they're abandoning ship, and then, you know, the more precise, you know, deadly artillery strike follows up with the destruction of it. Because it looks like they actually buttoned up too. I got to say, I think Chem Goblin was right. You know, the ones that we're seeing are just the ones where they make the mistake. But looks like they did actually button up. If they're still inside, they're fools. They're absolute fools if they're still inside, because, you know, there's no cover. It's not moving for some reason. It's wide out in the open. There's absolutely guaranteed your enemy is seeing it. So I'm 95% certain no one is inside this. They would be fools. Suicidal fools. to stay in a vehicle.
Attention, Lukashenko.
Okay.
Or rather, pay no attention.
Oh, God.
Russian propagandists discuss possible scenarios.
I'm also sick of hearing these guys. It was novel at first, but it's honest. I mean, like, how do Russians put up with this? Like, it's honestly worse than Fox News. It is fucking snooze. I can see why they have all the fancy graphics and flashing cameras and buzzing around and moving around like the producers on AD and D, as ADD. But it's so boring. They have to try and keep people's attention because they're just repeating the same shit, regardless of the reality, regardless of what's happening on the battlefield. It's like just just Android. This is my take. And they got a couple Combs like characters, Hannity and Combs there. Like this guy right here, who's a well-known punching bag, who's always like, oh, gee, guys, I don't know if, people killing people in major massacres like Bucha is a good idea. And they're all like, oh, are you crazy? We need to throw nukes around. The only solution is nukes. We're dealing with barbarians. I don't know if we should dehumanize the entire Ukrainian population by calling them all animals. I don't know, guys. Oh, you're just a stupid fucking dumbass, right? It's kind of boring.
Scenarios in case of Lukashenko's death. No one lives forever, they say.
This guy's such a
I wonder who
punching
gave the order
bag.
to bring up this topic.
Но о чем стоит позаботиться России? Потенциально. Никто не вечен. Мы не знаем, что произойдет с, дай бог ему здоровья, с Александром Григорьевичем Лукашенко.
Is he gonna get in the war or not, huh? Shit or get off the pot, man, Lukashenko. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Okay, go ahead, Lukashenko, do it.
И к этому нужно готовиться
I'm gonna do
загодя.
it tomorrow.
Вот в такой ситуации Польша и другие
Got a
страны
headache.
могут потенциально использовать свое влияние, как минимум попытаться
Do it
использовать
tomorrow.
свое влияние, чтобы дополнительно дестабилизировать обстановку в Беларуси и изменить конфигурацию сил.
Video from Ukraine's
See, it's just-
SBU
it's
Alpha
a blah,
White
blah,
Wolf
blah,
unit
blah,
showing
blah, blah.
UAVs dropping munitions on Russian forces. They
Two
say they destroyed
Spartans.
7 tanks, 2 D-30,
You're
an
on-
MT-12
you're high,
Rapira,
dude. Something's
an
wrong with you.
ATGM, and other vehicles.
Ooh, hit that one. Oh, okay. Stop moving. Not saying. It's impressive. I'm always high at this time. Fair enough. Being sober would be. I drank alone. Yeah, nobody else. I love that. I love that song. I didn't know whether to say tune or song, so I said song.
A former district police officer and a businessman bathed in a vat of milk on a farm near Rostov in Russia. Stripping naked, one man cheerfully declared that it's time to rejuvenate. If you ever need an advertisement against Russian milk, I have you covered.
Oh my God. That would feel really good though. Yeah. I mean, if you're not selling the milk, you can just drain it. You just drain the tank, right? That happens on the farm all the time. I hope the lid gets the little plank falls out and the fucking thing slams closed. I don't know. That would feel good though. If the farmer was like, "Hey, we're gonna throw the milk out. We're not gonna use it, and we got to sanitize the tank anyway." You want to jump in a vat of milk? I'd be like, yes. so I don't want to judge these guys too much here, but if these motherfuckers are doing this and then selling the milk, I literally don't have words for that. That is some of the most disgusting. I love milk. I don't even want to put that in I need to uninstall that from my brain. No, I need to believe that these guys are not. I don't even drink Russian milk, but I just need to believe in general that no one would ever do this and serve it to human beings. I know for a fact, because I used to work in the dairy industry, that there are checks and balances in the United States and in Canada to prevent shit like this. All the same, I need to uninstall this information from my brain.
Communication with a soldier of...
I want to do it, though. Oh, man, I've seen this guy before. This guy is one of the spookiest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Dude, this guy would make my nightmares piss their pants, okay? I've seen this guy before. I've seen interviews with him. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that, dude. Please don't come to me in my dreams, sir. Okay.
The Russian armed forces captured in a battle in the Belgorod region on Russian
From a small
territory.
percentage of somatic
The question,
cells.
what are you fighting for?
Hey, pass
was
that
not
shit
answered.
over here, dude.
Nor was the motivation for killing civilians in a foreign country. Perhaps a brief lecture by the Legionnaires will help them understand what is right and what is wrong.
Ты сейчас понимаешь, в какой войне участвуешь? Войну, которую развязала Путин, в которой гибнут сотни тысяч украинцев и граждан России. Понял только за этим.
Only realized in the last 2 weeks. Hey, Sirius, thank you for joining us on Kick. I try to stream every day, and we do a big stream on Saturday. Yeah, thank you, Sirius. Absolutely, we have a few people. We have a few people that come that help us, mainly Chem Goblin, that help us on Twitch with translations. But we could always use all the help we can get. So thank you. You're kind of the first person on Kick to actually communicate since I've integrated it with Restream. So it's good to see you over there. You know, good luck. Good luck out there in Ukraine. You know, hopefully you're safe and your family's safe. Yeah, Kick is a barrel of laughs. Yeah, if you think Zeke Heiling is hilarious. It is a cesspool. That's why I put my show there. This guy, dude. Even if it's not true, this is a great advertisement. So even if it's not true, this is a great advertisement for why you should maybe pay attention to politics sometimes, kiddos, kidderinos. Not to be an arrogant asshole here, but if you want to believe this guy at face value, right? Because I mean, bro, I would literally say anything. If this guy told me my guts were made of candy canes and that the sky was made of pneumonia, I'd be like, yep, that's a fucking fact. Take that to the grave. Right? I mean, look at this guy, dude. This guy. So, why'd you invade my country, sir? I don't really pay attention to politics, man. I don't really understand what's happening around me. So I don't know. If we want to take this guy even at face value, maybe we should, maybe you should remember this lesson, right? Pay attention to politics. Understand politics. You might get your ass wrapped up into a war and then stared down by one of the scariest motherfuckers that have ever lived, dude. Okay? If this were the 1800s, he'd be like a warlord. So you're lucky we live in a world of democracy and laws, all right? That's kept this man's rage contained. All right, moving on. So apparently the Russian bloggers, this is hilarious. Apparently the Russian bloggers are furious about if the story is to be believed. It's early going. It's early days with this story. But if the current story is to be believed, some Russian general, I don't know, vodka, fucking General Vodka. I don't know his fucking name. This guy makes his whole, apparently, some are saying they were in barracks, some are saying they were inside or they were outside, but he made them, hey, Vanya's Void, good to see you. But he made them stand around, standing around. And Ukraine, of course, were scoping them out, got intelligence on that. HIMARS strike. Could have been a HIMARS strike. Could have been one of those Storm Shadow missiles. Storm Shadow. I need a fucking thunder. I need a thunder sound effect. Probably uneducated people are not interested in this and believe that it does not concern them and they will not affect them in any way. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. You know, the people that are like, I'm not into politics. Well, homeboy wasn't that into politics. You know, he was like, I don't know. Russia's the most powerful army in the world. I don't know. You know, whatever. I'll be in and out, do a quick war, and I'll make a big fat paycheck. Not quite, dude. Rob MQ, welcome back to stream. It's good to see you, Rob. It's good to see you. And thank you, Zeo Duke, #1 in the chat, Zeo Duke. But welcome back, everyone else. Good to see you. Funny as far as the whole war was, yeah, Raman Kadyrov said his sons to prove their mettle. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and they were all tubby. They were all, you know, they looked like the son from Grand Theft Auto 4. Was it 4? Or no, 5. 5. The rich son who's like smoking weed in his bedroom. He's like, fuck you, Dad. You know, he's like playing violent video games in his bedroom, smoking weed. They all looked like that. They're all like wearing military gear and firing weapons and stuff. It absolutely, it was adorable. It was adorable. Those, you know, he's a good father. He's a good dad, taking care of those kids. Anyway, back to this. The Russian bloggers are pissed that this, you know, General Vodka over here, you know, just, he's all like, you need to wait for me and stand around and you know, you gotta wait for me to come out and I'm gonna give you a big ass speech. So while everyone was standing around with their dicks in their hands, Ukraine took advantage of the situation. Initially they said 200, right? We heard 200. Now we're hearing 100 dead. But this is not the first time we've seen Ukraine, you know, take active, hot information, act on it as quickly as possible, and smoke a lot of soldiers, you know, very quickly. I mean, there was those guys that were just like literally came out of training, and they were literally at their first stop, right? They had just gotten into Ukraine. They were staying at some hotel or college or something, right? They had commandeered one of those buildings, and, you know, like 4 o'clock in the morning, hit with a HIMARS, maybe with Storm Shadow, whatever the hell it was, and building obliterated, hundreds of these guys dead in one strike, you know, and they didn't even get a chance to fire a single bullet, you know. Just to read just a little bit from this article, Russian mill bloggers have said their army is, quote, at war with its own stupidity and sloppiness. Yeah, no shit. The Russian military really is embarrassing at this point. It is like, you know, stop embarrassing. It's like the drunk guy at the party, you know, just like, okay, it was funny, but now it's like, you know, you're reminding me of, you know, my dad. You know, stop, you know, stop being embarrassing. Low observable goat. Now that is a name. That is a name. Thank you for the follow. Low observable goat. After reports emerged that as many as 100 of Moscow's troops were killed when a Ukrainian strike struck. Ooh, that was fun. When a Ukrainian strike struck a gathering of soldiers waiting for their commander to give a speech. If this is true, I mean, just the fattest L. No cap. Bussin', no cap. No cap and bussin' over here. Dab on a Fleek burger. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a bussin' no cap. According to unconfirmed Russian sources, the massacre occurred near Kremenia in Luhansk Oblast when members of the 20th Combined Arms Army gathered in a large group not far from the front lines and in range of Kyiv's HIMARS rockets for 2 hours. Putler spent 25 years building up a fake military. No, I mean, and Vanyas, here's the thing, and I don't mean to digress. I'm sorry, but just real quick, the shame of Putin and Russia is that they had big European countries on their side agreeing with their take on NATO, right? And they were making real political progress, pushing back on NATO and slowing NATO's progress down. And all that work is destroyed. It is nearly impossible now to criticize NATO credibly when they have been for decades retroactively proved correct with a full-scale preemptive invasion from Russia, right? How the fuck am I supposed to criticize NATO now when they were seemingly totally fucking correct? Great job, Putin. Kyiv has not officially confirmed it was behind the strike. It wasn't me. I don't know. It was some other HIMARS shooting country. I'm making fun. Putler's gonna Russia. Yeah, I remember that. The doping, they were all doping, right? They all got disqualified. Russia had to, okay, I'm digressing. Okay, I can't. But yeah, no, the scandal at the Olympics was really funny. Kyiv has not officially confirmed it was behind the strike, but a Ukrainian official speaking on condition of anonymity told Kyiv Post it's a really funny situation there. I don't know about funny. It was a massacre. They stood in the open air for 2 hours listening to the speech. What is this, Metal Gear Solid? Remember that scene in Metal Gear Solid when you're crawling around? He's giving the speech in front of Metal Gear Ray. Remember that? It's like it just goes on, and then he just like loops, and he's like, in the audio, even like there's a segment where he goes like, I lost my place. I guess I'll start from the beginning. Then he starts from the beginning, right? Because that's how they explain. Just literally like a cutscene, just standing there like a fucking cutscene, dude, like a Hideo Kojima cutscene. Quote, this is enough time to fix them, transport the HIMARS, enter the coordinates, and hit them. 2 hours? Damn, that's actually like an incredible, that's really short, for what they accomplished, but you would think they'd be able to do that even quicker, but no, you got to get the intelligence, confirm it, right? Okay, we're doing it. You get the approvals, send the guy out. 2 hours, that's pretty good for all that. It'd take Russia 2 weeks, right? Apparently the bureaucratic choke points are really quite amazing. Like it was some of these ammo shortages we've seen, it's just simple bureaucracy clogging itself up. The incident provoked fury among Russian mill blogger community. Prominent commentator Rybar, okay, bro, said, quote, a tragic incident occurred in one of the divisions that were about to go on the offensive. So another case of guys that didn't even get a chance to fire a bullet. For 2 hours, people stood in a crowd in one place and waited for the division commander to say his motivating words. Oh, this hurts. But instead of him, the HIMARS, MLRS, and enemy artillery had their say in the Yuzhno-Donetsk direction. In a few days, there were fewer victims in the battles than from the criminal stupidity of the division commander. Woo! Woo! Not gonna lie, all those Victory Day parades were aesthetically very cool. Now, not so cool. Yeah, it's cool, right? They're all like robots looking, it's like that weird little fucking look they do, and jack. Yeah. But, that's the problem with nationality, though. You start, it's the people that have no sense of humor. Their egos are astronomical. You give them all the power in the world, right? And here we see the end result. Look at North Korea, all these places. America's different when it comes to its empire, who's controlling it, how it's, because it's not as centralized around one individual family or one individual person. It's a little different. We can't get into that. We can't get into that right now. Anyway, you want to read the whole article? It's right here. Mill bloggers are pissed. Russia made an incredibly stupid mistake. Got a lot of people killed for no goddamn reason. News at 11. Right? That's Russia's MO. Just get a lot of motherfuckers killed for no good goddamn reason, right? Here we go. Been listening to latest from Ukraine, another one of these AI generated news agencies that we're seeing reporting on Ukraine. Interestingly enough, using the same AI voice as Warthog Defense. So it sounds like it's the same guy. It's not. Like, hopefully we get through this AI era and we get some more variation in this, because it is jarring. It's like, wait, is this Warthog Defense? It's not. Latest from Ukraine, some other one. But these are great. I love these. you know, these compilations because you know they keep it snappy, they keep it on topic.
Отдайте территорию.
Unlike me.
Отдайте Советскому Союзу его территорию. Какого хрена он распался? Из-за того,
So
что...
this is great. He sounds like a whiny bitch. He's like, give back the territory. Oh, it's all, bro. It's history, man. Now, just out of the blue, Russia just gets to go. You know what? I'm taking it all back. I don't like all the agreements we made decades ago. I'm taking it all back. I mean, what is even the fucking logic here? Boo, boo, boo. You know what I mean? You can't just renege on this stuff, man.
Отдайте территорию.
I know, and the military dress, right? He kind of reminds me of Steven Crowder that way.
Sovietskому Союзу его территорию. Какого хрена он распался?
Stolen valor.
Из-за того, что ряд дегенератов стало говорить о каком-то суверенитете.
At the end of the deconfliction between...
It's got a cute little patch. Oh, did mommy sew on a patch for you, buddy? Oh, that's adorable. Oh, did you go to the front lines? Precious.
Ряд дегенератов стало говорить о каком-то суверенитете.
Yeah, serious.
At the end of the deconfliction between the Armenian armed forces and Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan gained from the region. Armenian soldiers opened fire on Russian peacekeepers escorting the Azerbaijani army to plant the Azerbaijani flag at the entrance to the checkpoint.
I know, right? Yeah, total hypocrite. Serious. Oh, it's so nice to see people from KIK.
The Ukrainian army, which was also praised by the Wagner leader earlier.
Okay, we actually, okay, well.
Is training in various parts of the world with harsh training conditions. The British Ministry of Defense shared a video with the Ukrainian recruits that they are training to become a deadly and survivable force. After Ukraine's increasing pressures and Russia's loss of power due to military infighting, some military analysts have indicated that Russia is close to signing a ceasefire. But the Ukrainian side is determined to take all its territory from Russia, including Crimea. The German government has made a statement on this.
Are they doing a haka?
Territory from Russia.
Are they doing a haka over here? I like how the haka is like, you know, gotten big on social media. That's really cool. Like the Afghans, so deadly. Twitch tweaker. So there's no difference between the Afghan military that dissolved in 45 minutes. Like, what was it, 14 hours? So there's no difference between the Afghan military and the Ukrainian military, really? Really? I'm gonna do a haka on that one. I don't know about that.
Including Crimea. The German government has made a statement on this issue and stated that they will not support this ceasefire. The German government will not tolerate any freezing of the conflict in Ukraine, Chancellor Scholz said, because this will only legitimize the Russian offensive raid.
I mean, Merkel really got it wrong. I really like to see this, you know, Chancellor Olaf Scholz here really kind of like taking this opportunity to like really draw a contrast between him and Merkel. And that contrast is Russia and how he's dealing with Russia. And, you know, I don't think Putin was ready for that. Putin really got used to Merkel's soft hand approach to him and, you know, and all of his, you know, all of his bullshit. And Olaf Scholz is not having it. We just saw him recently shout down, what was the word I came up for? I can't even remember the stupid name I came up for the stupid commies or the pro-Russian Vantics. I guess we'll just use that one. That is the best word for it. Welcome back, Panda Man. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming back. I greatly appreciate it. Always appreciate to see people coming back and enjoying the stream. You know, and that's why I like to hang out in the politics section, because that's where the real motherfuckers are, right? We're not just jerking off. We're actually trying to get something done and, you know, have a little fun too, right? Tankies, you know, I don't want to call them communists because they're not all communists. I don't want to call them tankies because that's basically a communist, right? You can be pro-Russian and not a communist, right? You could be a Russian bad actor and not a communist. So, you know, got to avoid that. And also, I don't want to completely discredit communism as an idea either, because I think it is important. in the discussion. Communism, socialism, that shit's important. We got to talk about that. We can't just say communism bad. It doesn't work like that, okay? It doesn't work like that. If we're going to enjoy the fruits of socialism, we have to understand the works of Marx. Fucking sorry, okay? So that doesn't mean we have to go full commie, but that does mean we have to understand socialism. And if you're going to understand socialism, you got to understand communism. So just fucking stop bitching about it.
Also, according to him, the leadership of the Russian Federation still has plans to absorb Ukraine. There are similar plans for Belarus.
Get back to that one, Panda Man. 1 sec.
NATO Secretary General Stoltenberg made statements about the Ukrainian F-16 pilots who received training. Ramstein said before the meeting, it is already clear that the training has started. When the Ukrainian pilots are ready for the F-16, it will be possible for them to provide the aircraft to Ukraine themselves, said. The Ukrainian army advanced another kilometer south of Vuhledar. The Ukrainian army is advancing in at least 3 directions along the front lines. The Russian defense is getting stretched.
Good. Goatsy them motherfuckers.
Czech President Peter Pavel said that all Russians living in the West should be monitored more closely by the security services because of the war, too. When World War II started, all Japanese living in the United States were also under a strict monitoring regime, he said.
Yeah.
Nationals.
That was bad. That was not good. That was not bad. I believe the exact opposite should happen. I think Ukraine should have a trust but verify when it comes to Russians and accept Russians with open arms and say, we're better than Russia. You're here. We're not gonna kick you out on your ass. We're gonna give you a place here. Look, if you're occupying a Ukrainian's home, you have to leave, but you don't have to leave the country. You can work towards, if you want to work towards being a citizen, right? I think that should happen. Of course, you know, we already talked about this, and Ukraine's going to be doing basically legal deportations, right? Which is within its right. But honestly, I feel like what would make the Western liberals really, really happy is, is seeing more. I don't know. Look, if you're a Russian that isn't pro-Putin, right, but you're a Russian citizen that came to Ukraine and you're like, yeah, I don't agree with this war. I love Ukraine. That's why I came to live here, right? I feel like there should be some opportunity for you to become part of Ukraine, and that could make Ukraine stronger, right? Just as the Japanese American citizens made America stronger, and how a grand majority of them that were interned were like, I don't know why I'm here. I fucking love this country. Why do you think I moved here, Uncle Sam, you jackass? Right? There's, some of the, Japanese Americans that moved here, some of the most patriotic, pro-American people you could fucking, ever run into. So it was totally ridiculous. And internment was completely counterproductive. So and I feel the same way when it comes to Ukraine. I feel like there should be, and I'm not saying accept every Russian, right? You got Russians on social media like, I can't wait for Daddy Putin to invade, right? Like, that's, you want to get deported on that shit? You're at war. That's the Ukraine's prerogative, right? But like I said, I think the door should be opened up for, Russians that want to stay there, that love Ukraine, that have learned to love Ukraine.
It should be stricter than in normal times. So all Russians
woke patriot.
In Western countries,
hard to find a middle ground when an invasion is happening.
Monitored,
but
much
I
more,
think I agree
than in the past, because they are citizens of a nation that leads an aggressive war. I think I can be sorry for these people, but at the same time, when we look back, when the Second World War started, all Japanese population living in the United States.
Dog, no, that's such a bad look, bro. Zelensky needs to talk to the homeboy. When I try to think of military victories, I don't reference the Bay of Pigs. This guy over here, like, referencing is this woke liberal propaganda to point out the Japanese internment program was a fucking abject failure? Have we retconned history that bad? You know, I'm sorry, did someone jump in a time machine and shoot Hitler and something and like made the internment good all of a sudden and the fucking time wave hasn't hit me yet? You know what I mean? We all agree Japanese internment was a bad thing, right? I think the paragraph that I read in my U.S. history book went over that and said it was bad, right? What is this clown doing? Oh, well, Germany, one time, concentrated their people and geez, terrible explanation. But you know what I mean? It's like, using a terrible, I don't know, just find a better example, jackass.
Under strict monitoring regime as well. That's simply cost of war.
When you say monitoring, what exactly do you mean by that?
I mean,
Good question.
Under the scrutiny of security services.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Look, especially during the invasion, while the invasion is happening, look, it sucks. It sucks. But there are Russians who live in Ukraine, are acting, like, hey, look, I saw a Ukraine tank roll through. Look, check it out, right? They are doing that. And it is within Ukraine's purview to at the very least, clamp down on that. You can't just let it just happen at all times, right? You got to try to deter it a little bit. And they're not stringing people up, sending them to Siberia, and throwing them in the gulag for the rest of their life. They're getting their day in court, and it's a whole process. They're not starved to death and treated like animals, and there's a whole process that they go through. It's it's not perfect, but it's certainly better than some of the processes we've seen in Russia when it comes to justice. I love how
climate activist Greta Thunberg.
This is great. This is great, by the way. I love how Russia puts people in cages when they're like, it's so dehumanizing, right? Like, you're an animal. You are just a creature and like a piece of filth. Put you in this cage because you're a dangerous animal that'll claw, and like a tiger, right? Like, you put it like a dangerous animal in this big steel cage. It was really representative of like the mentality, right? What they consider justice in Russia.
Spoke about Russia's environmental destruction in Ukraine. He said, I think Russia's actions are absolutely appalling. We will share a...
She's so awesome. I love how plugged in she is, right? Because while her peers, and this goes back to Panda Man talking about Cornel West here, might as well talk about that. But yeah, Jimmy Dore, all these other clowns out here basically being pro-Russia. With that said, Cornel West, Panda Man, I did a deep dive on Cornel West recently. We've been really talking about him in the Discord, debating whether I should talk about him at all. And I did a deep dive, and his opinion on Ukraine is the most nuanced I've heard from the people in that circle. Right, Russell Brand, Jimmy Dore, right? These people that are like, we just gotta give up. We just gotta stop helping Ukraine. The smart thing to do. The peaceful thing to do. It's my Jimmy Dore impression, by the way. He's like a Dick Tracy villain. The peaceful thing to do would be to let Putin win. I can't believe we're not spending money in Flint and we're spending all this money in Ukraine, as if the issue is money, right? As if the issue is money and not politics, right? Like, if we stopped helping Ukraine, all of a sudden all that money will just start flowing into Flint automatically. Like, it's how a child thinks. With that said, Cornel West has the most nuanced POV on Ukraine. It's really great. He basically says, look, I'm not a fan of war, but I'm not going to sit here and say that Ukraine isn't allowed to defend itself. And he ultimately does agree with helping Ukraine defend itself. He does. It's very wordy. It's very Cornel Westy, right? All kinds of funny, flowery words and lovely language, to explain how we need to be, not accept war and all that stuff. So he does all that, but he does, like I said, he does admit that Ukraine was invaded unjustly, illegally, whatever you want to say. And Ukraine has a right to defend itself, and he does ultimately agree with the West supporting Ukraine. Too bad his political instincts are like, as worthless as the dumps I take every single day, the healthy dumps. dumps, just like Trump. Dumps, right? Healthy McDonald's dumps, just like Trump, my hero.
A video in which we will describe in detail the regions that Ukraine has recently regained control of.
Dumps.
But before that, let's explain the current situation today.
How would you rate the work of the United Nations?
She's awesome.
Not very high, but yeah.
And for Ukrainians, what Ukrainians can do more to raise the attention, to draw the attention to this?
This responsibility doesn't fall on Ukrainians. This responsibility falls on the rest of the world who are witnessing these horrifying events, and not the least on Russia, who are the ones actually committing.
We cannot just be
Dude, but you know, to go back to Cornell, I love, by the way, the comments on Greta Thunberg. She's awesome. Let's actually finish this. Panda Man's flying me off the rails, talking about fucking Cornell West. God, give me a real fucking candidate with some real political instincts, please. God, the best choice I have is Gavin Newsom. Kill me, Roblox. Minecraft.
bystanders and watch with despair what is happening in other parts of the world. I think looking at the pictures of what's happening and hearing stories from Ukraine, that makes us all feel heartbroken. But we cannot stop there. We must be active and raise our voice and condemn the crimes committed by Russia. As Ukrainians know all too well, this ecocide that happened recently is just a continuation of the unprovoked and full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And of course, we do not only care about this ecocide because we care about the environment. We care about the environment because we care about people. And having these two perspectives in mind, it is absolutely horrifying what is happening, and we cannot let it continue like this.
She's great. Isn't she great? Isn't she great? While her peers are shitting themselves, trying desperately to figure out how they can stay anti-American while also, trying to save face and like, I don't know, Russia, territorial claims, a bunch of excuses, while her peers are shitting the bed, the people older than her that she probably grew up watching. She's out here paying attention, ear to the ground. You could tell when someone's paying attention, right? She didn't say war is good. I love war. Fuck them up. Go Uncle Sam, right? But she said, look, we got it. We care about the environment because we care about people, right? Now to the people that would shit on her and naysay her and be like, oh, she didn't talk about Palestine, she didn't talk about Syria, she didn't talk about this, she didn't talk about that. What about all the crimes in the United States? All the countries in the United States are holding out, and all these other things. Blah 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 blah. What about this? What about that? What about? Right? Well, let's ask her. Because I think Greta has a long career as a leftist activist. If she does not get co-opted by a political system that wants to, mold her and turn her into something marketable, right? If she continues on this path and stays plugged in and stays connected and stays on message, she could change the world. She has real potential, this Greta Thunberg. Really love her. Really, really love her. She's something else.
Thank you, therefore, for showing up and for speaking up.
No, she's something else.
All I can say is that we support you, we stand behind you, and that we see what is happening. The world's eyes are on Ukraine and on Russia right now, and that we are not going to be bystanders and not going to be silent, and that stay strong. We stand in solidarity with you.
Ukrainian President Zelensky also commented on the ceasefire claims. He said that Ukraine is not a source of aggression. It is not a war zone or a conflict zone. Zelensky, who stated that they need weapons to make our land a zone of peace again. Our whole land, our whole people.
She's
Just
great.
For this, he said exactly as stipulated by international law.
No, she's plugged in.
Від російських ударів та долаємо наслідки страшних злочинів цієї війни, зокрема і наймасштабнішого в Європі екоциду. ми потребуємо максимальної єдності. Єдності усіх, хто разом із нами поділяє ключові цінності. Цінність життя, цінність свободи, цінність права та цінність поваги до кожної нації, кожної спільноти і кожної людини. Коли єдність максимальна, тоді і солідарність максимально ефективна. А коли так, точно переможуть і життя, і свобода, і право, і повага. І сьогодні я звертаюся до вас саме для того, щоб поговорити про цю єдність. Шановні члени федеральних зборів, дорогий народе Швейцарії, душею тих цінностей, які нас...
He's doing such a good job. Keeping the momentum going, keeping Ukraine at the top of people's tongues, reminding them that this is not just a war between two nations, right? Not just a little skirmish, some disagreement. This is setting a geopolitical standard that other countries will have to live with if this works, if this pushback against Russia's attempt to take Ukraine is successful. It will set a new standard for geopolitics and how, you know, look, if you're going to try to conquer a country, well, you better learn how to be a banker, right? Because rolling in with a fucking load of tanks ain't good enough, Junior, right? You're going to have to figure out a new way, authoritarians, autocrats.
Об'єднують є мир. Мир. Україна ніколи не була джерелом будь-яких загарбницьких воєн. І навіть зараз, хоч це звучить і дещо парадоксально, українська земля є територією миру. Бо джерело цієї війни, джерело і причина агресії поза межами наших кордонів. Просто уявіть це.
We will continue to share and add the details of this event.
Okay, thank you, Mr. AI Robot Voice. Yeah, moving on. We just got a couple more clips here. I got to keep it pretty tight. We got just 1.5 hour left. Ukrainian army continues to knock out the Russians from positions in Tarvia. And real quick, Panda Man, on your comments on Cornel West. Look, man, political instincts, he doesn't have them. If he had any sense in his... Look, you only get one chance to pivot. Sure, okay, you pivoted to the Green Party. Yeah, great. Now, the Green Party... The Green Party has been around for decades, and they're still not on the ballot in every state. And I understand there's a lot of challenges there. Some places just straight out outright ban it. But a couple decades, you still can't get your shit together, right? The fact is, Cornel West should be running as an independent in the Democratic Party, right? Basically running as a Democrat, as an independent, and should be challenging Joe Biden directly. That is the only path. That is the only path forward that makes any sense whatsoever. And Cornel West over here, it really feels, I mean, he either has look, I want to believe in Cornel West, and I believe he's a good guy. So I'm just going to say he has absolutely terrible political instincts. Because the cynic in me, when it comes to Cornel West, wants, would want to say, well, this is some kind of book thing. This is some kind of, I'm going to sell a book, some kind of media thing, right? Some kind of self-aggrandizing thing. I don't want to believe that about Cornel West. I love the man. I have several of his books. I think he's a brilliant orator, and he's a brilliant voice for the progressive left. But goddamn, man, you shit the fucking bed coming out of the gate, dude. This is your plan? You've had decades, right? At least since 2016, maybe you've been flirting with this idea, and this was your plan? Saddle your motherfucking ship up to Jimmy Dore's jalopy? Holy shit. Hop on Russell Brand's stream, call him a progressive? Holy shit. Right? So, sorry. I really am. And I say that genuinely with all my heart. I am sorry. But no dice on Cornel West, dog. Well, do you think Cornel did run as a Democrat to be able to chip in some black support? Because I thought that was I don't know. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm not talking about Cornel West. I'm not talking about his electability or what he's going to. I'm not going to do this fucking sham boogaloo. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like a fucking, a goddamn sliver of the pie is the whole goddamn pie, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is a real political campaign. All right? Give me something real, even if it's a goddamn shill like fucking Gavin Newsom, right? That has, a tweak slightly better than Joe Biden, right? I'd rather take that, right? Give me something that's actually going to happen, dude. I'm not fucking putting my hopes and dreams into a goddamn joke right now. And that's what the Cornel West campaign is right now. Okay? I'm eager to be proven wrong. But that's it. That's all the comments you're getting about Cornel West. It stops right fucking now. Back to Ukraine. We're done. Done talking about something that's not happening by an unserious person right now. Okay? And I hate saying that about Cornel West. Fucking like a knife in my gut, just running straight up, man. I love that. I love Cornel West, dude. He's awesome. And to see him shit the bed this hard, it's like, oh, we got a lot of work to do. The left, right? We got a lot of work to do. We are not. That's all I'm saying about. That's it. We're done.
Ukrainian army continues to knock out the Russians from positions in Tavria. Alexander Tarnavsky, commander of the Tavria grouping of troops, said that the defense forces continue to push the Russian occupiers out of their positions. He noted that over the past day in this direction, the enemy lost almost 4 companies of soldiers killed and wounded. Also, 56 units of military equipment of the occupiers were destroyed and damaged. This includes 9 tanks, 9 infantry fighting vehicles, 2 armored multi-purpose transporters, 2 howitzers 2S-19, MSTA-S, a self-propelled artillery mount, 2S-3, Acacia, self-propelled artillery installation, 2S-5, Hyacinth,
I don't know.
Anti-aircraft missile system,
Hyacinth?
Strela 10, multiple launch rocket systems, Huracan, 3 sets of radio electronic jamming, JITL, electronic warfare
blew up
system,
6 banana
Pole
hammocks.
2, kamikaze drone Shahed 136,
4279
2
bologna
armored
sandwich,
vehicles,
exploded
Tiger.
7 of
Over the
those.
past day, Ukrainian forces
7
destroyed 6 warehouses
foot
with
fungus
ammunition of the
XLs,
invaders
foot fungus
in the Tavria
XLs.
direction. On June the 12th, 2023, the Ministry of Defense
We got a
announced the
PR-27
liberation
toe
of
jam.
7 settlements in the southern
Blew it
direction: Lobkovo, Levadnoy, Novodarovka, Neskuchnoi, Storozevo, Makarovka, Blahodatchnoi.
478
On June the 14th,
vodka buster.
the Ministry of Defense reported that the armed forces
Took it
of
out.
Ukraine were advancing in the direction of Berdyansk and Mariupol. There was an advance, but heavy battles were being waged.
Show me the video game that's doing this, right? This is going to be the next innovation in, combat, military combat, is like showing how it actually is, You're shooting at nothing. You're shooting at nothing for like 95% of it. Oh yeah. That's right. So we're going to do a Crux video here, and Crux of course has their own soundtrack. So I thought I would do kind of a special soundtrack, every time I do a Crux video. So I thought I would introduce you guys to Frog Concert, the slumbering sounds of the Frog Fellowship. Frog music, and we can watch some Ukraine news to frog music. If you're a toad on a log, this is your jam. USS NATO allies to dig deep. Frog news, Frog Concert. Zelensky says something. Ukraine claims to have regained control of over 100 square kilometers of territory in its counteroffensive against Russian forces. You learned about that at the Frog Concert. Just sitting on the log, man. You and your toad buddies, right? Just frogging it up. It's frog time. We getting all froggy up in here. Oh, I don't know, Panda Man. I'll ask me on Saturday when we're doing U.S. news. That's the last fucking thing I want to talk about is the U.S. election. I'm chilling at the frog concert, bruh. I'm frogging it up with my frog bros on the frog log. Okay? It's all slimy. We're all sliming it up in our bog, hanging out on the frog log. Come with me to the Frog Carnival. We're frog fans of Frog ICP. Okay, this joke is not funny, and this video is too long. All right, moving on. Lukashenko, Belarus is prepared to join the conflict in Ukraine. Okay, so join it. Come on, Lukashenko, puss boy. What are you waiting on? He's like, oh, I got a headache. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to do it. It's a guaranteed L. It's a guaranteed L. He doesn't have enough. He'll never be able to send enough to make a difference. It's a slaughter. You know, it's going to be a slaughter. The people that, you know, the more he does it, the more troops that die, the more support withers away for him. And he already has a good chunk of his population straight up hating his ass. I'll do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, do it. Send your troops in, big boy. He's big and round, man. Big and round. Watch out. He coming. He coming, boy.
Belarus is prepared to join the conflict in Ukraine.
Coming.
Belarus is prepared to join the conflict in Ukraine if the republic ever becomes the target of aggression, President Alexander Lukashenko declared. He noted that his country had enough power to respond to any serious intervention.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking to Russia One TV.
Oh, no, we're scared, man. This will change it. This will change everything when Belarus gets in the war. Oh, everyone will remember when Lukashenko waved his bony fingers. His chubby, bony fingers. He has chubby and bony fingers, okay? Leave me alone.
Channel, Lukashenko explained that his country was peaceful and had enough wars throughout its history. However, he also warned that it would not hesitate to respond and strongly enter the conflict if aggression is committed against us.
Yeah.
We have enough power to respond, the president said, adding that he will not allow the 10 million Belarusians and 3 million Russians who live in the country to be torn to pieces. That's 13 million people. I am responsible for them, he noted. When asked to define what he meant by aggression, Lukashenko clarified that his primary...
Man, he's got makeup. He's got makeup on his like super dark baggy eyes. He's got a bunch of makeup on right here.
Red line was a full-scale incursion into Belarus, adding that he believes such an attack could potentially come from Poland, Ukraine, or any other Baltic states. The president noted, however, that he did not consider attacks such as those committed by Ukrainian saboteurs on the Belarusian Makulishi airfield and Russia's Belgorod region this year to be genuine acts of aggression and called them more provocations that were being dealt with. This is a very tangible, strong provocation where we are not doing enough. But now we have begun to address it and have delved into this nasty, unpleasant problem. Lukashenko said, noting that the saboteurs are already afraid of coming in groups. The Belarus
They just talk shit, man. They just talk shit.
Leader also pointed out that he had never been asked by Russian President Vladimir Putin to participate in the military operations in Ukraine.
Right. Right. Just jump in, big boy. Jump in, Mr. Wide Stance. Mr. O-Load, he coming. Where's that footage right
Bruce
here?
is prepared.
Captain O-Load. Get your ass in the pool, man. You want to, he's like, I want to jump in. I want to play. Well, come on in, big boy. Water's nice and warm, dude. Come on in. So here we have absolutely deplorable news. This is actually related to a fellow commentator, Dylan Burns. He wasn't part of this group at this time, but he was with this group, I think, just the day before. So you know he's getting pretty close to the action there, Dylan. Try to take care of yourself, bud. But we got a Herson update. One of my guys, so this is Frontline Kit. Not sure who this is. British chef fella cooking for Ukrainian army. Straight to the front lines. Okay, so there you go. He's got some skills as a chef, and he's cooking it up for the Ukrainian military. I'm sure they appreciate the hot meal. One of my guys in the hospital, another Merrick, was 400 meters away at the time and survived the blast. This is by far the most angry I've been since the beginning of the invasion. Russians posted this boasting about killing those rescuing dogs, cats, and people. So Russians literally acknowledging that they are attacking non-military targets with military weaponry. Dropping drone grenades on them, I guess, and are proud of the fact. Yep, and there they are right there. We'll avoid the zoom in there just to keep TOS happy, but yeah, absolutely deplorable. Honestly, this is that. I mean, they have one tactic, one strategy: terror, fear. And they've learned the wrong lessons from World War II. They've really internalized this idea of we'll just keep throwing bodies at you until you submit, right? And even if you are submitting because you are, we're so pathetic and you just want to stop the killing, you just want to stop the madness, then that's a victory to us, right? Really frightening, this mentality. And it is cultural a bit. It is reinforced, right? In the culture. I'm not going to say though that there isn't a lot of Russians that are interested in a new way, because I think there are. I think there's actually a lot of Russians that, if given the opportunity to really choose, I think the oligarchies and the old Soviet Union nostalgia obsessed boomers in Russia would be quite surprised at how many people are would be willing to move on from this crap and actually join the Western Alliance and, get on with their lives and, get back to watching, Netflix and buying Gucci and all that. Right. Most people just want comfort. They just want peace. They just want their little family, their little piece of heaven. And then, then they get to enjoy their life for a couple decades before it all goes dark. Right. That's what most 99.9% of people, right, that aren't psychopaths, All right, so 20 hours ago, we got an update from reporting from Ukraine. Love this guy's content. Wish we got one a little sooner, but he's been posting. His posting schedule kind of changed up a bit, and he's been posting mainly at night. But regardless, we'll get one from 20 hours ago, just a map update. And yeah, we're seeing slow but steady progress. Defensive lines, zero lines being probed, and then, hey, we got a good opportunity right here. Let's go for it. None of this, none of this. We're going to take this town, this symbolic town, and there's nothing you can do about it. Doesn't matter if it's strategically stupid for us to take it at this time. We're going to take it in the worst way possible just to show how powerful we are. None of that nonsense, right? Attacking where it makes sense, retreating where it makes sense, surrounding where it makes sense. This is what we wanted to see. And what they need from us is patience and continued support, right? We got to be patient and understand that they got a plan. They're heading for Melitopol. They're going to get there when they get there, right? With that said, Zelensky doesn't have forever. And if he wants Crimea, he needs to, I think he's got about 3 months. Lukashenko isn't sort of like Viktor Orban in that he's close to Putin, but sort of independent. There's not much independence with Lukashenko from what I've observed. I mean, I guess there's enough independence though to, not send his army in the moment, Putin demands, right? So I guess there is some independence there, but there does seem to be a pretty close, I don't know about puppet. Maybe puppet. I don't know. I don't know that much about Belarusian politics to say definitively, but I will say, he's never wavered on his support for this, and outside of offering troops boots on the ground, he's basically done everything he can to help the Russian military. So yeah. The volume here, bud.
Day 476. Today there is
476, man. I've been here since day one when Russia literally started the war during the live stream. Oh, this is exhausting.
A lot of good news from the south. Ukrainian forces continue successfully advancing in all main directions.
Nice.
Yesterday I told you that Levadne may very soon become the main axis of advance. And today Russian sources confirmed that after demining the field and conducting small reconnaissance in force operations, Ukrainians launched a much bigger attack. Russian sources reported that Ukrainians are advancing not only eastward but also southward, and that today Ukrainian assault units established control over multiple Russian positions in the tree lines. Ukrainian forces are also ramping up the intensity of their attacks in the direction of Rivnopil. Today Russian sources reported that Ukrainians assaulted the settlement with up to 5 tanks and 5 armored fighting vehicles. The goal of this combination of attacks remains to even out the front line and set the conditions for a broader line of advancement. Ukrainian fighters continue releasing footage showing their newly captured positions and the process of sorting the captured equipment, cleaning the trenches, and preparing the trenches for defending against potential Russian counterattacks. Other Ukrainian assault units demonstrated their trophies captured in the aftermath of heavy fights. They said that judging by the quality of the equipment, they were fighting against extremely well-prepared Russian forces, not some under-equipped mobilized soldiers that did not know how to effectively use complex weapons,
Yankees go
which
home.
makes the victory even more meaningful. Ukrainians also confirmed that they captured multiple pieces of heavy equipment,
Nice
such as
loot,
tanks
right,
and
exactly.
armored fighting vehicles.
Yeah.
When it comes
Some
to the
good
Russian
guns there.
counterattack, as
You can tell it's hot as hell too. I've seen more pictures of this of Russians or Ukrainians just running around and they're fucking. There's another shirtless guy back there. But yeah, dude, if this was Tarkov, that would be a great. Definitely be extracting at this point. It's time to go, boys. Gonna get that crypto mine.
know how to effectively use complex weapons, which makes the victory even more meaningful. Ukrainians also confirmed that they captured multiple pieces of heavy equipment, such as tanks and armored fighting vehicles. When it comes to the Russian counterattack, as expected, Russian forces failed to recapture Makarivka due to the weak control over the tactical heights around this settlement. Russian sources reported that they relocated their forces from the Orikhi front to increase the scale and potency of their counterattack and opened another direction, namely Orozhaina. Some sources claim that the village is now in the gray zone, and the ongoing clashes do not cease because Ukrainians stubbornly continue to hold the line. In order to undermine Russian offensive capabilities, Ukrainian forces have deployed several HIMARS crews to the region to conduct precise counter-battery fire. Geolocated footage showed how Ukrainians destroyed 5 Russian artillery systems, 2 near one tree line and 3 near another tree line. All self-propelled artillery systems were located near Yalinsky, which is approximately 17 kilometers behind the front line.
And they should be shooting and scooting. These should not be targets that are sitting around long enough to be hit. Uwu Crane, bro, you're getting your ass kicked by Uwu Crane. That's pretty sad when you say. I thought Russia was supposed to be big bad bear. It's getting its ass kicked by NAFO. Fucking NAFO memes, goddamn Dogecoin memes running around kicking your ass. Pretty fucking sad, dude. Turns out the bear is a little cute little cub. I ain't Russian. Okay, but you're happily riding Putin's dick. God damn, make it stop.
In a desperate attempt to change the situation, Russian forces hacked the radio in the region and started broadcasting a message. They claimed that Ukrainian positions were cut from 2 sides and there was no escape, and the Ukrainian command did not plan to save them, which is why other forces have already left their positions. They said that this was their last chance to capitulate, because all Ukrainian reserves had been destroyed. Ironically, in the meantime, Ukrainians conducted a massive HIMARS strike on Russian reserves and eliminated more than 200 Russian soldiers. This caused a massive scandal and an official investigation in the Russian
Okay, we're not sure about the 200 number.
Media space, and Russian sources quickly found out and published the cause and results of the Ukrainian strike. If you still remember, around 3 months ago, I made a video about the biggest tank battle in Ukraine that took place in front of Vuhledar. I told you that in the aftermath of disastrous planning, Russian forces lost almost 150 tanks and armored fighting vehicles and several brigades worth of troops. There are two people responsible for this disaster: Lieutenant General Rustam Muradov and Colonel Sahrab.
Thanks for the info, buddy. Thanks for the update. You're Yeah, no, you got me, man. Yeah, Russia's really kicking a lot of butt, dude. Yeah, no. Unquestionably. Yeah. Lots of L's from Ukraine, bro. So right. Yeah. Even Russian sources says it was hundreds of casualties. Well, they would sounds like they're beefing up the numbers to, like, you know, to make it's a big tragedy, right? But I don't know. I guess the higher the number, the more incompetent they look. But they don't care. They said the Moskova was destroyed because of cigarette smoke. Right? Come on, man. Jesus.
Akhmedov. Interestingly, in their reports, they claim that they achieved unbelievable success, which is why Putin signed an executive order to give both of them a higher rank, and Rustam Muradov became a colonel general, while Sahrab Akhmedov became a major general.
Oh, man.
As you might have already guessed,
your body
the success
counts
of
so
the
high.
Ukrainian Heimer
Welcome
strike
back,
was
Davey.
only possible because these commanders were left in charge. Russian sources reported that Sahrab Akhmedov...
They got Bakhmut, Davey. They got Bakhmut. That was a big victory. Big strategic win, Davey. What are you talking about? Nothing but dubs. Wagner kicked so much butt that they, they put their fucking Wagner tail between their legs and fucking Scooby-Doo down out of there. Now let's go back to Africa where the real money's at. You know they're running whole oil operations in Africa. You know that? They got their own oil mining company or precious metal mining. No, mining, that's what it is. Maybe it's not oil, it's mining. But they're out there making incredible amounts of money, dude. There ain't no money in Bakhmut.
Medvedev wanted to give
Head
a
on back to
motivational
Africa,
speech to his
boys.
troops and called everyone to assemble in the yard and wait for him. Unfortunately for Russians, Ukrainian reconnaissance drone operators
Yeah, Davey,
quickly
that's how
noticed the
kick-ass they
parade,
are.
gave the coordinates to the HIMARS crews, and eliminated at least 200 Russian
3
troops.
days to Kyiv,
So
baby.
Akhmedov effectively killed his own troops by ordering everyone
God, this
together
is
in the
sad.
plain sight of the enemy and forcing everyone.
Bunch of fresh out of training, you know, getting ready to hit the front lines. And I mean, look how young they are too. God damn, look how young they are. They look like teenagers to me. Oh my god. Oh my god, so young. This guy, he's old. He looks old, but he's young. He's got that old young thing going on. This guy's got a bucket hat. What are you, dude? Maroon 5? I don't know. Do they wear bucket hats? I don't know.
Want to wait for an extended period.
That's just sad. They don't even get to, you know, die in battle or glory or anything, man. Just fucking sad.
Of time. Even the most prominent Russian sources are calling for the execution
huge
of
amount
the
of those
General
working against
Akhmedov by
Russia,
firing
working
squad,
Russia,
and they
demining
claim
from
that
the
such
offensive.
Russian
Yeah.
commanders killed more.
No, Davey, that's a great point. But I mean, Ukraine in 2014, you know, Russia really should have just taken, you know, if they wanted to take it, they could have taken Kyiv. You know, the military was just not ready. I mean, if Russia wants to learn the worst lesson possible from this, it would be don't give your enemy, you know, the opportunity to prepare for a larger invasion, right? Because they should have just taken Kyiv after they took Crimea, and they would have been able to do it. But after 2014, Uncle Sam took that opportunity to give Kyiv just enough to thwart that initial push, and that was enough to inspire the rest of the world to get behind Ukraine and finally say no to this bizarre retro modern Russian imperialism, right? It's like we're bringing the old crew back, right? We're getting the band back together. Like, no, the fuck you're not, man. Shut the fuck up. Got the hammer and sickles. Do do do. Where the what is it? The wall? What do they call it? The fucking iron wall. The iron curtain. Where the iron curtain. We're getting the band back together, bro. No, you're not, Grandpa Putin. Different local paintball field has better stuff. Some of these guys are looking pretty shabby. This guy, cannon fodder. Right? Some of these guys are looking, and these guys they got nice little red hats. You know, to match their soon-to-be red wounds, poor fellas.
Russians with their criminal orders than Ukrainians did with weapons. If you're against the invasion of Ukraine and
all right, I have time for just a couple more combat footage. Let's get a couple more combat footage here. Let's see, Ukraine combat footage archive. No. Come on. What happened to my Reddit? Oh, there it is, combat footage. Servo, I don't think I've seen you here before. Thank you for coming in, sticking around for a little bit. Hope you're enjoying the news underground. It's the only source of legitimate news on Twitch. So good, good job finding actual news on Twitch. That's, it's quite an accomplishment. Let me tell you, there's a lot of fucking garbage. Speaking of garbage, I'd like to mention today's sponsor, #1 drink mix company in the world, Garbage Fuel. Make sure you drink Garbage Fuel today. Garbage Fuel is, of course, 100% sourced locally from your local dumpster. You are not allowed to sue Garbage Fuel. No matter if you crack the seal on a Garbage Fuel, you're actually in a legally binding agreement to not sue Garbage Fuel. So there's no way around it. Don't even bother trying to do it. So let's see here. Yeah, can't show that one. Ukrainian aligned soldier fires AT-4 shots into building. Okay, I think we actually saw this footage in one of the previous videos. Pretty sure. Let's double check though. Yeah, we saw this one. It's crazy just how quick it is, right? It's just like it's almost instantaneous. And he hits that window too. Nails that window. Dang, man. Yeah, that's some really good footage. Here we go. Mine clearing operations with the M58 MICLIC. I don't know, man. I fucking hate that NAFO shit. Yeah, it's a seismic or whatever, Darkest Dungeon guy. You're actually in the place that actually keeps it real when it comes to politics. I think NAFO is a terrible thing that the left is doing. Honestly, it's cringe as shit. How are we supposed to criticize NATO? How are we supposed to criticize the military-industrial complex while we're slobbing the knob of Uncle Sam with this NAFO shit? And now we're like, anime. We're kind of like weebing up war crimes, right? We're like a Panzer und girls und Panzering the Ukrainian war, making it all cute and shit. This isn't cute. This isn't funny. This is motherfuckers getting their guts blown out, dude. So I find the NAFO shit to be incredibly cringe. So shut your fucking mouth. Let's check it out. Mine clearing operations with the M58, M-Click. It's the M-Click, of course. What are you, a pleb? You didn't know that? It's the M-Click. Oh, shit, that's cool. Oh, fireworks! Sorry, too loud there. So this is, I don't think this is like training. I've only really seen these, I haven't really seen these in action on the battlefield too much. I think this is on the battlefield. This is them launching that shit, because like you have to clear the minefield before storming the trench, right? You don't want to pull a Russian military and just strut your ass out there, shirtless. Oh my god. Oh, is that? Oh, the string. Yeah, there it is, the string. Yep. This long ass string of explosives. Launches the string out. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. And then, whoa! Oh, was that demining? No way. Look at that fucking blast. Oh, nasty, nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. That doesn't seem like. Oh, there's another explosion too. Are these mines? These are nasty ass fucking mines if these are mines. Yep, it's another one with a string. Yep, it's got the string there. I think these are nasty. Are these IEDs or something? I feel like this is like a... Whoa, dude, come on, bro. Look at that. Yeah, David, we already showed that video. Wow. It's also amazing to me how quick this can all happen. I mean, imagine you're a Russian, right? You're in your trench, you're dug out, you're supplied. I'm ready for these motherfuckers, right? And then within 2 minutes, you know, you're forward, the position right in front of you looks like this, right? Within 2 minutes, all those defenses you've been setting up for weeks and months, right? They've cleared a path through, they're cutting a path through, and it's on, dude, right? I'd be shitting my pants. I would be full on straight dumping, dude. I mean, honestly, this is terrifying. This is terrifying. You set up mines that do, look at the shockwave on this. You set up mines that do this. Obliteration if something hits it. And your enemy is like plowing through it. Plowing through it, dude. No thanks. No thanks. The paycheck's not worth it, Russian guy, Russian person. Ooh, this is cool. This is right up my alley. Thank you, Davey. Sounds of the forest during the war, Crimea Forest. Makes me wonder, like, you know, what was that famous forest in World War II that the U.S. troops got bogged down in? Vertigan? Is it the Vertigan Forest? Something like that. The U.S. troops got bogged down in this forest during the winter, and super creepy. Oh my god, dude! It's actually giving me more Vietnam vibes. Kind of reminds me of Charlie Sheen in Platoon, you know. He's running around. It's fucking beautiful, man. It's fucking beautiful. You know? Man, I'm sorry. Platoon is really cringy. You know, seeing how the real shit goes down. Platoon is super cringy. That's beautiful. One more time without interruption. They're throwing up flares for visibility. Man. Hertigan Forest. Servo. Nailed it. Look at Servo over here. Look at hell yeah. Thank you, Servo. Nailed it. Yeah, exactly. That was the exact forest I was thinking. Hertigan Forest. Wintertime. Allies had to be digging in. Like, and Nazis were coming out of nowhere. Like, you could actually get lost. You know, it was like whiteout conditions. You would get lost. And allies and Nazis would just wander into each other's fortifications and just get shot right there. You know, you think you're walking back, you're like, oh shit. Yeah, really trippy stuff. Thank you, Davey. That really is an amazing video. Might actually save that one for Saturday. That one is such a special video. I think I'd like to play that this Saturday as well. There's something really disturbing and beautiful and eerie, ethereal, you know, about the calmer moments in a conflict, right? Oh my God. Wow, dog. Nasty. Nasty, dude. Seeing a lot of the... Okay, come on. Yeah, thank you. Trying to mute it. Yeah, you can see the ammo cooking. Yeah, hitting the missiles, and the missiles are firing and blowing up right there. Oof. I love me a good ammo cook-off. I love the ammo cook-off videos. Richard Wolf been bad on the... Yes, he has. He's doing the Ukraine, you know, I want peace two-step, you know, doing that usual. It's so disappointing because I love Richard Wolff. No. You know, the moral thing would be for Ukraine to give up. Zelensky, you know, he's sending his people to die. So tired of this, dude. And it's like I don't think Richard Wolff is a bad actor. I think he's just fucking wrong. I don't, you know, what does he get cash and checks from the Kremlin? Fucking prove it. Right? What's the motivation of some of these old fucks out here with these crusty ass opinions, right? What's the motivation? Ain't money. Can't be money. They can't be getting much for this shit, right? If it is money. All right, here we go. Let's do one more drone attack. See the Russian Tor system attack itself. Ooh, that is a good video. I did see that, but I haven't streamed it. Okay, we'll show that one too. And then two more videos, and then we'll call it a day. I gotta walk the dog. I gotta go back to work. Man, you know. Don't you guys want to give me? Don't you want to give me a bunch of money, and then I can, like, I don't know, I'll go to Ukraine, and I don't know, I'll fucking buy a Lamborghini and $1 million house and show it off to you, like, Hassan, help a brother out over here. Buy a goddamn t-shirt. All right, here we go. Tor system. Oh, yeah, this is funny, dude. Dude, imagine you're there, because someone had to have been there. So, I don't know, there's a reason, Davey. Maybe there's a reason why the cameraman is so far away. Maybe this was, like, remote triggered. They're like, I don't know, something's up with these. I've saw that footage of ammunition. I saw that footage of ammunition that's apparently rotting, right? It had like wooden or paper casing and it's all rotted and falling apart. Reminds me of those rusty AKs. I just can't believe, Russia is actually sending rusty weapons and rusty ammo and fucked up ammo, right? You're wasting all that time and money to load that shit onto trucks. You're not even opening up the boxes and seeing if this shit is even worth sending. If it's anything like the HIMAR, it triggered from within the cab of the vehicle. Well, that's nightmare fuel right there for the operator. There's a reason why this camera guy is so far away, dude. Maybe it's a civilian. It's framed almost too perfectly for a civilian. God, that's embarrassing. Go home. Russia, go home, dude. Holy shit. I'm sure it's happened on the Ukrainian side, though. So this is, you know, quite a shot from this drone operator right here. He hit the sweet spot. He hit that ammo ring. You know, that sweet spot right here. He was hitting for, you know, going right for the neck. So these tanks have auto loaders. If you don't know what the fuck's going on, most people do. But if you don't know what's going on, these things have auto loaders, and they have to keep their ammo pretty close to their turret for these auto loaders to work. And they actually keep the ammo in kind of a ring surrounding the turret right here. So, I mean, the people inside get completely shredded, right? It's terrible. Like literally ammo exploding right above your head. You're completely fucked. I'm sure these things are, when you actually get in there, if the human beings inside are no longer exist, right? But that's what happens, and that's why we see the turret pop up. And yeah, that drone guy, I mean, you don't see that too often from one drone strike. That's a good hit. That's a good hit. Video of a Patriot defenseman failing and immediately hitting the ground. Yeah, I mean, it's just, misfires happen, But I will say this, when it comes to Russia, it's not the first one we've seen since the start of this war. One of these catastrophic misfires, right? Definitely not the first one from Russia. I haven't seen a lot from Ukraine, but it's not like they're going to be posting it. For some reason, Russians post when they fail. Like the guys getting drunk and throwing grenades and shit and almost killing themselves because they're pissed drunk. And why are you posting this, guys? Maybe hit the delete button, Sergey. Right? Hit the delete button. No one's impressed, man. I got to show my wife this. I almost killed myself. But anyway, yeah, I mean, one hell of a shot from this drone operator. I got to give it to him. You know, usually you see this after the follow-up, right? You disable it with the drone strike, right? Disable the engine. But this is impressive. Sweet spot, right at the neck. Pop the turret. Fucking happy birthday. There you go. Maybe Russia should get the fuck out of Ukraine. I don't know, just a suggestion. There's a wild suggestion, folks. Call me crazy. Hot take. Hot take! Hot time somewhere in the city. Am I obnoxious enough to be, you know, a celebrity, please? I'll do some mukbang. You guys want me to shove some fast food in my mouth? I eat fast food every day anyway because I'm a fat ass. You want me to just do that on camera? Fucking have some kind of heart attack? Will you be entertained then? Will you watch then? All right. You have to say something controversial, then not apologize. Okay, I'll say something controversial. Women have a right to their uterus. Oh! Old people should retire in comfort. Oh! I ain't apologizing. I ain't taking that back. College should be publicly funded. Whoa! Too fucking hot! Black people should be treated with respect by the law enforcement. No!
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
I'm sorry. Too hot to handle. Too hot to handle. The government should acquiesce to the whims of the people. Whoa! Woo! Woo! He ain't saying sorry for nobody. You know, woke patriot, it's 100% true. 100% true. I'm a slob without my wife. Guns kill people. Too hot to handle. Controversial. Oh, you can't censor me, huh? Cancel this. I'm sorry. I am incredibly sorry. Wow, Panda Man. Most conservatives don't support black people being attacked. You know, the comment section of literally every single shooting of a black person disagrees with you. Every time there's a cop shooting a black guy, justified. Where's the parrots? Justified. All their avatars, right? It's like the cop shades and the red MAGA hat, right? They got the shades on. They're in their truck taking a selfie. You know, their construction job, you know, lunch break. Justified. All lives matter, by the way. Panda Man over here carrying water for some of the worst fucking people in existence. Right? Blue line, yeah. Thin blue line, justified. Should have killed them sooner, really. Should have killed them the second they showed up on scene. It's clearly bad news. Yep. Panda Man over here carrying a big old bucket of excuses for these people, right? Pretty sad. I say it kind of makes me depressed. All right, folks. If you want to create political change, guess what? It's as easy as 1, 2, motherfucking 3. All right? Do I need to bust into a Snoop Dogg style jam to get this through? Step 1, you need to inform yourself. You're already here, so you did the job. Congratulations. Step 2, you need to find and join a progressive political organization in your area and volunteer. They need your help. They need your support. Find a, Medicare for all, right? You want an electoral college. What's your jam, baby? There is a progressive group ready and willing to take your assistance, and they need your help. Because step 3, you got to put in the work. No more pussyfooting around. No more, making a tweet and being like, there's nothing I could do. Oh, both sides are corrupt. Butter up, buckle up, buttercup. Because the fight's at your goddamn doorstep. The fascists are working every night, every day, every hour, every minute. The fascists are on the grind to destroy our democracy. You need to buckle up, Buttercup. You can't be neutral on this moving train. It's time to fight. And it really doesn't take much. A couple hours a month, really. A couple $100 a month, right? If you can't show up, can't make a phone call, you could drop a couple bucks. I'm tired of the excuses, and so should you. Get in there and fight. Don't forget my 3-step program to create political change. I was asking you, it came up. Yeah, abandoned nihilism. Well, because okay, let me answer your question since we're. You just love you love derailing me, but I'll answer your question. I call myself abandoned nihilism because I believe at the core problem that we're experiencing across the world is an acceptance of nihilism, is an embracing of nihilism, right? And what we see is nihilism manifest, right, with the conservative politics, but also neoliberal corporatism. It's nihilism manifest. So I believe, if we're going to boil it down, elevator pitch, I got 5 seconds to explain to you what we need to go after. It's nihilism. Need to attack it and destroy it and abandon it. And re-embrace the concept of hope. That's exactly, Servo, that's the exact attitude that I'm trying to fight. Because the human race has so much potential, it's disgusting. We have so much undiscovered, it's pathetic. We're just getting started, and we got Fukuyama over here talking about the end of history. Suck my dick, the end of history. This is the beginning of history, bitch. Every generation, it's a new beginning. Right? Oh, we're just going to give up. Both sides are bad. Tuck your head in a fucking blanket. Call it a day. Pathetic. There is a better way. There is a better way. Okay? There is. And that's what I'm here to do. And that's what I'm here to talk about. Abandoning nihilism. Creating real progress. There you go, woke patriot. Sure. Bring me back to reality. All right, everybody. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East. Glory to the Ukrainian democracy. Call your goddamn mother. Give your mother a call, for God's sake. She misses you. And if your mother's dead, R.I.P. She's a great lady. I love her. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East, yo.
Perfect.
Big motherfucking pimping in this bitch. News Underground, bitch. News Underground. Only real source of information on this whole motherfucking platform, bitch. All day I eat this shit, I eat, sleep, and fucking dream this shit, bitch. I'm all about this shit. Thank you.